Hello, this is Mindy from The Weekend Gardener, and today I'd like to teach you how to make a container garden. Now, container gardens are so popular nowadays. Everybody's doing them. And while some people find success in it, other ones don't find success. One of the major reasons for that is they go to the nursery and they find all this beautiful plant material and they just start buying up. And the colors go together and they go with the pot, and you get so excited and you go ahead and plant all these plants into a container, and then the plants die, or half the plants die. The reason for this is while the colors may go together and it may look wonderful in your container, what you've actually done is you've combined plants that have different growth requirements. They have different light requirements, different water requirements, and or fertilizer recommendations. You can't address a plant who needs partial shade to a plant that needs full sun all in one container. So the best bet to reach the most success is to make sure that you group your plants according to growth requirements. It'll make a much better looking container and you will find that you have more success. Now there's 3 words that you need to remember when you're planning out your container garden: thriller, filler, and spiller. And I'm going to talk about each one of those components, and then I'm going to show you how to plant a very simple container garden. Now the thriller is your focal point. It's what your eye is going to be drawn to. And it can be drawn to the thriller by color or texture. And this is my thriller. It's a very unique looking plant. It's got curlicues. While it's green, it does provide texture, provides interest to the arrangement. Now the filler is going to be the plant material that is around your thriller. And in this example, I'm using impatiens. While they're green, they do have this beautiful bloom, and it's just going to pop with color, but it's not going to detract from the thriller. The last thing is the spiller, and the spiller's role is to break up this rim. Actually, you want to break up that surface, and so this philodendron is going to be my spiller. So the very first thing that you want to do, and I've already pre-done a lot of this just to help the video go along a little quicker, is you need to pick your container. You need to make sure that it's deep enough for your selected plant material. And as you can see, my thriller is pretty deep compared to my impatiens. So I want to make sure that the container is deep enough to hold the deepest plant, or the plant that has the deepest pot. It doesn't matter whether it's terracotta or plastic, you just need to make sure that it's the appropriate size. The next thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you clean the inside of the container, and that means pulling out your basin. In this case, this is a pretty big container, so I'm just going to hand scrub it, or I did hand scrub it with water with a cap full of bleach. I got all the old swill off of it. I rinsed it in clear water, and then I set it out in the sun to dry. Now that's very important because stuff that you missed, bacteria, fungi, pests, the sun will actually kill. It's called solar sterilization. And if you're going to take the time and effort to make a container garden, you want to make sure that you don't lose it due to plant disease. In doing so, you need to make sure that your new and old containers are properly cleaned and sterilized. The next thing that I did after the pot was dry, I put drainage material. This pot does have a drainage hole. I put drainage material, and then I filled it up with soil. Now I filled it up to the bottom part of the rim of this pot. Now there's a rim on this pot for a reason, and that is to hold the soil so that when you water, the soil doesn't go up over the lip. You will see a lot of container gardens that the soil is filled all the way to the very top. You don't want to do that if you're going to put it outside and it's going to be exposed to rain, number one, or you're going to water from the top. If it's going to be on a porch and you're going to water it from the bottom, you're not going to have the soil spilling over. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to begin planting. Now you can offset your thriller. You can plant it in the center of the thriller. You can plant it in the back of the planter and have it arranged. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this very quickly. I'm going to plant my thriller in the middle. And again, this is just a demonstration of how to do this. You're going to tip your pot upside down. You're going to work this plant to get it to come out. Now as you can see, it's pretty root bound, so I'm going to tease the roots up so they can grow outward. And this is very important whether you're doing a container garden or any type of gardening. And then I'm going to plant my thriller. All right, the next step is I'm going to put my filler. And I'm doing this kind of backwards, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm just going to simply take this impatient out and tease the roots. And I'm going to plant it around my thriller. Now these impatiens will grow up, they'll grow taller, so don't have to worry about that. Now I'm not going to put the other impatient in, I'm just going to put the spiller in so you can see how that works. Your spiller can be anything that cascades down, that's the key. You want it to cover that rim is the goal. And again, I'm going to loosen those roots. And then I'm simply going to put it in the container. And that's all there is as far as creating a professionally looking container garden. So until we meet in the garden again, this has been Mindy from The Weekend Gardener.